Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. Over the past 7 years, we've understood what matters most to you, the entrepreneur, and in year 8, we're taking head-on two of your most pressing concerns, that of funding and mentoring. I'm Sunanda Jaiseelan. On the show tonight, the influencer conversations. First up is the head for Microsoft startups, Lathika Pai. On the other side for break is Mamaearth. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Lathika Pai onto the show tonight. She is the head for Microsoft Startups, joining us from our Bengaluru studio.
Thanks, Sunanda. Great to be here.
Lathika, good having you on the show. You head the startups division for Microsoft in the Middle East, North Africa, as well as the SARC region. My question to you first up, to kick off tonight's interviews, why Microsoft is so excited about startups. What can you tell us?
So Sunanda, Microsoft has always been very, very bullish about startups. You know, we've been engaged with the startup ecosystem for over 5 years now. I think over the past few years, though, the momentum in terms of the attention the entire company is given to startups has grown really, really large, because we now have our cloud Azure, which is really geared towards encouraging startups to leverage our technology and what we bring to them.
When we talk about startups, Lathika, India is the third largest startup ecosystem anywhere in the world. That's a well-known fact. What's the potential for further growth, in your opinion, from here?
I think the potential for further growth, Sunanda, is huge, because today in every city in the country, I think there are startups mushrooming almost every single day. The good news is almost every state government realizes that they need to invest in their startup ecosystem and are encouraging and providing a lot of support to startups, not just in the tier 1 cities like Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, but also in other cities. You have startups in Chhattisgarh, you have startups in Dehradun. Every single, I would say, state government is looking in terms of understanding that the new workforce is going to be geared around startups, around technology, and that's why it's such an exciting time for us here at Microsoft in terms of engaging with the startup ecosystem.
I want to talk about the Highway to 100 Unicorns program. What can you tell us on that?
So Sunanda, this, we came up with this project sometime mid last year. This was after the India Internet Day, where, we announced that India is looking to have 100 unicorns by 2025. Today we are at 27, and we've had one every month over the past 9 months. The term unicorn is really a mythical term. It's a very aspirational term. It is a number, where the valuation is $1 billion. But what struck me was that we didn't have a single startup from a tier 2 city, on this current list. And the hope is in the 100 that, list of 100 in 2025, that we do have startups coming in from the tier 2 cities, which means that our time to engage with them is now, and our time to identify them is now, and for us to be able to help and get them to scale. So that's why we started the Highway to 100 Unicorns. We've been to 5 states so far. The government of Gujarat was the first one to embrace the program, and we launched it in Gujarat, followed by Rajasthan, Kerala, Maharashtra, Telangana, and the next one is in Goa in March. So we plan to go to at least another 5 to 6 states, and what we do is we actually identify the emerging startups. We run a competition called EmergeX. We select about 10 to 12 of startups. Our plan is to go deep and have an engagement with them, create winners from them. We also have a breadth program where we will be engaging with the entire ecosystem. And when I say engagement, is that we will have technology workshops, we'll have mentorship. This is the largest ask of all the founders. I personally meet founders in every tier 2 city I go to, and the two things that the ask is we need mentors, we need funding, and access to markets. And this is what we as Microsoft for Startups and all of Microsoft together are looking at providing these startups.
It's interesting that you're talking about the potential of startups and companies and businesses outside of the metros, because very often, and most often in fact, when talking about unicorns, one rarely discusses the work or the potential really of businesses outside of the metros. Why are you so excited though?
So, you know, it was a hunch that we went on, and I must admit that the hunch was absolutely right. We have had about close to 550 startups apply for the EmergeX out of 5 cities. We've selected 54, and you know, the proof of the pudding, Sunanda, is when investors are willing to write a check. And two of the startups that we selected, Wholesale Box from Rajasthan and Rapido from Kerala, they were written a check by an angel investor who came with us, who's been to almost all of our events. The good news is that startups in tier 2 cities are all about trying to figure out how to make businesses work. They don't have crazy amounts of funding chasing them, which says, hey, go, you know, explore, capture the market, create your product, and then we will worry about revenues. They have to start worrying about revenues from day one because they don't have the funding. So what today is being, you know, is the mantra of all VCs, which is positive unit in economics. I think these startups start with positive unit economics. So we're very confident that startups coming out of tier 2, there is no lack of talent in terms of the founders. I think it's really a matter of exposure, mentoring, and giving them the support that they require at the right time. And that's what we intend to do.
I understand you've selected 54 companies or unicorns in these areas, but my question to you is also the nature of these companies. Do you feel that a lot of attention and focus is getting, focused on one specific sector, too few sectors, retail or e-commerce, for instance? And how can this attention really be sort of broad-based? How can innovation then be recognized and encouraged across different industries?
You know, that's a great question, Sunanda. I think many of the startups are creating solutions first to actually engage with their local businesses, local ecosystems, and then looking at expanding into other states in India and then going global. In terms of innovation, we see a lot of innovation in the IoT space. You know, in Kerala, there are a whole bunch of startups in the IoT space. So is it in Rajasthan. And in every state we go, we see, you know, different kinds of startups. You know, in Chandigarh and in the tri-state area of Punjab, Chandigarh and Haryana, we see agri-tech startups coming in. What they don't have access to is the kind of technology that's already available that we as Microsoft, you know, has created through our Azure platform as a service and in terms of what they can leverage. So we have AI, ML, cognitive services, we have the IoT sphere, and I think this is what we are hoping to kind of give these startups access to this technology so they can use it to innovate further, to create solutions for the business problems that they're seeing locally, which is also, you know, which can be adopted by other states and other emerging markets that they are now creating solutions for.
All right, Lathika, good talking to you as always. Thanks for your time here.
Thanks, Sunanda.
Let's slip into a short break. On the other side, we're in conversation with Mamaearth, joining us live here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Do stay tuned. Welcome back with us here in Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight in conversation with us is Varun Alagh of Mamaearth. Varun, good having you here on the show. I want to start by talking about Mamaearth and really the journey and the history behind, you know, why you decided to get started in this space.
Sure. So it's an amazing story which goes back to 2014. We were pregnant in 2014 and were blessed with a baby boy, Agastya. Me and Ghazal both were very finicky around the choices that we wanted to make for Agastya, and we wanted everything to be really safe and healthy like any other parent does. We started searching for the best products available, and that's when we came to an understanding that there were a lot of these harmful chemicals which were found in personal care products for babies, and a lot of conversations were going on where some brands were getting sued over court cases by people for carcinogenics which were found in their products, and that led us to sort of search for better brands and better options for our baby, and we started ordering products from US, UK, etc., which was very painful. And we felt that there should be a brand in India that provides these safe, toxin-free products for parents in India. That's how the idea started, and in 2016 we quit our jobs and started working on this idea, and 2016 December is when Mamaearth was born as Asia's first brand with Made Safe certification.
Even as you're talking about the opportunities and the big picture when it comes to your industry vertical, Varun, I do want to talk about some of the initial challenges you might have perhaps faced and how you've overcome that.
Sure. So I think the first challenge that we encountered was the fact that leaving a high-flying job to start up, friends and family around us, everyone was not convinced that we were doing the right thing, but we were quite convinced because one, we felt very strongly to bring this brand to life because we had the baby at home, and second, we also felt that we would rather live with failure than live with regret. And if we don't try, then we will never achieve what we want to achieve. So I think the first challenge was that. The second challenge that we came across was the fact that nobody takes you seriously early on. So be it formulators that we went to, or the manufacturers that we went to, or even when we were trying to hire people. So that is a challenge that you will come across. But if you have passion and belief in what you're chasing, and it comes across when you're pitching your idea, people do get convinced. I think that was the second piece that we came across. I think the third challenge was how do we spread the word and how do we drive awareness, especially as a young brand with limited budgets. How do you get the message out there? What worked for us was a clear proposition and a strong story, and the fact that there were parents who were trying to do something for kids in India by creating products which were safer. This is a story worth sharing, and that's what we went after. We went after a lot of people, influencers, bloggers, who would write about our story, who would tell about our story, and that's how we really built the brand. So I think those were the three key challenges which we faced.
I would love for you to talk to us about the marketing strategies for Mamaearth, both domestically as well as internationally. What you're doing and what you can tell us.
So we're largely present in India only. We are not present outside of India. In India, our channels of marketing are digital only. On digital, early on itself, we had realized that we had a communication insight which was moms trust other moms. So that's how we wanted to build the brand, which is moms actually sharing the story of their experiences with our brands with others, and that's what we have been doing. We started with influencers and bloggers. We went on to getting Shilpa Shetty on board, who's again a mom and a strong wellness ambassador. She came on board as an investor in the company, and she started talking about our story further. So I think that was one channel of awareness which has worked for us. Apart from that, we've also focused very strongly on the digital ecosystem, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, because all of the consumers that we're going after are present on these platforms. So creating stories, creating content, and actually reaching out to consumers who are looking for the right kind of products through these channels is how we have marketed the product.
I want to talk fundraising. I understand that a lot of celebrities are putting money into Mamaearth. What has that experience been like for you? And also, talk about your whole fundraising journey and any funds that you're planning on raising in the future, and any idea you can give us about what you're going to utilize the funds you've raised so far for?
So, in fact, we just raised a large round of Series B funding from Sequoia, and we've got great investor partners on board with Sequoia, Stellaris, Fireside Ventures backing us. The good thing is they provide us the right kind of advice apart from the financial capital. And with these funds, there are few strong goals that we have over the next 3 to 4 years. The first goal, like I said, is continue on strong disproportionate growth for Mamaearth as a brand. The second goal is to ensure we drive awareness and bring almost 5 million consumers over the next 3 years into the Mamaearth umbrella. Third strong pillar is to build a team which is actually able to take this from where we are to a billion-dollar company over the next 10 years. And fourth will be figuring out newer growth levers, could be international markets, could be new brands and categories that we can enter into over the next 3 to 5 years. So I think that's what we will do. We don't have plans to raise more funds as we just closed one round.
I want to talk about the overall market, Varun. The size of the organic baby care market, while the baby care market in India is massive, the organic baby care market, it's still quite niche, but any numbers you can share with us? What's your view? What's your projection?
Sure. So the baby care market in India today is about 10,000 crores in size, growing at a healthy CAGR of about 11 to 12%. We believe there is a large opportunity when it comes to baby care in India, given a few metrics that I'll talk about. One, the penetration of baby care categories, apart from if you remove baby soap, the penetration is only about 15%, which means that 15% families in India use baby care products. Rest of them actually use regular products on kids and babies. So I think there is a large opportunity of increasing that penetration over time. The second thing is more and more with the increased disposable income and lower number of kids per family, the time as well as money available per child has actually gone up and continues to go up. And that is a strong lever for growing spends on kids. Which will lead to, again, significant growth in the category size over time. And natural and organic, any which ways, is a strong trend which exists globally as well as very strongly in India, where people are looking for natural, better for you alternatives. And hence we believe that brands like ours are poised to win as the market continues to grow.
Based on your personal experience and your personal journey then, what would you have to tell our viewers about starting out as an entrepreneur and what your experience has been?
Sure. So I think my advice to young entrepreneurs would be as follows, and I'm also a young entrepreneur. I haven't achieved much, but if I was to give that advice, I would say the following. So one, you find the problem that you really want to solve, a problem that you're really passionate for. And a lot of people that I meet just want to start but don't have a clear vision around what they want to solve, right? So I think once you zero down on that problem and the problem that you want to solve and the passion behind that, it just becomes easier, because entrepreneurship journey is going to be with lots of ups and downs, and especially on those downs, you'll realize if that passion is there, you won't fall away. The second advice would be, don't chase funding. A lot of people end up not starting or not scaling because they're saying, hey, we need to raise funds to do this. But instead, chase brilliance, chase an amazing product idea which you can showcase in a smaller, minimum viable product format, and try and prove your brilliance through that execution. So if there is brilliance in terms of what you're able to execute or create, and funding, etc., will follow. You don't have to actually chase that, they will chase you. That will be my second advice. And I think third advice would be, find really good people and get them to join your team early. Because people are, and the value that they bring is much bigger than any idea. So that's my advice to you.
My last question is, we were talking about the fact that you're in a very niche space, that is the organic baby care market. How do you really stand out from the rest? How do you ensure that you're communicating effectively, really the benefits of what you stand for?
I think for us, differentiation has been at the core of branding. And we have differentiated ourselves on the toxin-free proposition. people are clearly looking for harmful chemical-free products, and the fact that none of our products have parabens, SLS, mineral oil, silicones, it just makes us a brand which is differentiated. Apart from that, we use the goodness of earth. We use ingredients which people are clearly looking for, ingredients like turmeric for skin or onion for hair, vitamin C for face. So these are ingredients which people are clearly looking for, and these are the ingredients which we add to our products and make them hardworking because of these ingredients. So I think combination of this is how we differentiate ourselves.
All right, Varun, thanks so much for your time here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Completely out of time here on the Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have any feedback for us, our contact details is up on your screens in just a moment. Do let us know. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.